Welcome Solid Source. We are thrilled to be here with Jason LaMarca from Arrow Exterminators. And Jason, thank you for being here with us.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity.
So we have Jason here because Georgia is a buyer beware state. And so in addition to home inspections, termite pest inspections are very common here in the state of Georgia because a home inspector may not go in the attic and may not go in the crawl space. So, but jump in, tell us a little bit about Arrow, how long you've been in the business, and what type of certifications, why should we choose Arrow?
Sure, thanks again. So Arrow is a family-owned and operated company. We started here in Atlanta in 1964 in the back of a beauty parlor, beauty salon. And we have grown to be the second largest family-owned and operated company in the country. We have 149 service centers as of yesterday. It seems like we're growing every day. We have over 30 offices just around Metro Atlanta, so we've got you well covered in this area. And you know, it's wonderful to work for Arrow. I've been here 24 years, and hopefully I never have to find another company because it's just a fantastic work environment. We were awarded by the AJC as the #1 workplace in Atlanta the past couple years, and we had the #4 ranking in the country. So our folks are happy. It shows in our level of customer service, not only to homeowners, but to real estate agents and builders and property inspection companies and everybody we come in contact with.
Congratulations on that as
Thank
well.
you.
Here in Georgia, we have been told that termites aren't a matter of if, but when.
Mm-hmm.
So can you educate us a little bit more on what termites actually are? How would we know if we have them, and what tips for preventing them for sure?
Sure. And termites are insects that eat cellulose. And cellulose is anything that was basically once a tree. So wood, paper, cardboard, the list goes on, but you can imagine if it was made from a tree, then termites will eat it. And they can do a tremendous amount of damage to our homes. Roughly $5 billion a year of termite damage, which is more than storms and fires and earthquakes and all of that combined. So the idea of not having a termite warranty for your own home, let alone recommending to your clients, is a bit of a gamble. And I understand it's very common for folks to say it's not if, it's when, but we don't necessarily work on scare tactics. It's either a situation that exists or it doesn't exist. And that goes for when we're issuing wood infestation reports as well. That process of issuing a wood infestation report is first accomplished by doing an inspection, a thorough inspection of the property. We know where the hot spots are in the home, but we want to look at the entire home. Hot spots are places where we know termite entry points exist, where there's a construction type meeting. It could be 2 slabs. It could be a slab meeting a foundation wall. It could be a variety of places where plumbing is coming in through the slab or in the home. So we know where those places are, but we will still do a thorough inspection, even if it's for a termite letter, which maybe we'll talk about in a moment. We still have a need to look at the entire structure. So we do have super key access for vacant homes or occupied homes to make it easy on you. You don't have to meet us out there on the property. And we will do the entire inspection and issue the report typically within 24 to 48 hours of you requesting the inspection.
That is wonderful. And I am glad that you brought up termite reports and letters, because that is something that we face as agents, as brokers, and certainly we have special stipulations we have access to where we can request it, which is more common in a buyer's market, but sometimes it's a lender requirement. They will want a wood-destroying organism letter, not just a termite letter, to be issued, and termites are one of those, but there are 4 others?
Correct, yeah. Termite letter is a very common term for the official Georgia Wood Infestation Inspection Report. That report actually contains 5 wood-destroying organisms and 3 conducive conditions. So there's 2 types of termites, 2 types of beetles, and a non-insect, which is fungus. It's not mold, Mold is not a wood-destroying organism. However, wood-decaying fungus is a wood-destroying organism. And then there's 3 conducive conditions. And in many cases, if we're talking about a VA loan, even those 3 conducive conditions have to be addressed so that the letter is quote-unquote clear. And so you can order a letter anytime by going on our website. We have a special real estate agents button for you to hit there, or you can just give us a call at 888-GO-ARROW.
Now, if you do, or when you treat, are these treatments safe for kids? Are they safe for pets? So many of us have pets.
Yeah, excellent question. I have 2 dogs, and thankfully our training is thorough and extensive. The products we use are used in the safest manner possible. We always follow the label. In our industry, the label is the law. And that's no joke. There are civil and criminal penalties for the misuse of pesticides. And so we apply the correct product based on identifying the pest in the correct location of the home. Take, for instance, cockroaches. They don't necessarily live out in the open. They're in the cracks and crevices, right? So we apply the product into their harborage areas, cracks and crevices, in the safest manner possible. So outside in the yard where the termite stations are, that's the Centricon termite colony elimination system. That active ingredient has no effect on mammals. Okay, so a dog can chew up the station, consume the bait, although it's rare, but it will pass right through its body. Okay, the mode of action with today's pesticides is very specific to the actual organism. It's no longer a broadcast pesticide. They're very specific.
Now, this may be a little bit of a trick question, but we all know that I love a pop quiz.
Okay.
How many teeth do mosquitoes have? And I didn't know this until getting ready for our time together today, but mosquitoes don't actually have teeth.
That's correct. Termites do not have chewing mouth parts. I'm sorry, mosquitoes do not have chewing mouth parts. Termites do, cockroaches do, certain types of ants like carpenter ants do. But a mosquito has a proboscis, and that is like a needle, like a hypodermic needle. We actually designed our modern hypodermic needle after the proboscis of a mosquito. And so that's what it inserts into our skin to siphon the blood out. So it has a siphoning mouth part. Yeah, no teeth.
Well, mosquitoes are a big deal in coastal parts of Georgia, southern parts of Georgia, more so than the Atlanta area. And you guys do offer treatments for those that can help to control those?
Yeah, there's a lot of health concerns involving mosquitoes. We've all heard of West Nile and Zika and the various diseases that can come from the pathogens that mosquitoes carry. And so it is a real concern. And we do offer a mosquito prevention and control program, very targeted, very specific to avoid the pollinators that may be around our flowering plants. So we are very aware of the pollinators. We do everything we possibly can to not contribute to the decline of any pollinators out there.
Right. And you mentioned health, and sometimes that question will come up. Is there a relation between, children and asthma and rodents?
Sure.
And are you aware of any?
Yeah, there are many. And take, for instance, again, a common pest, the cockroach, carries many pathogens in their bodies that when they die become airborne. Okay, if their bodies are broken apart, those pathogens become airborne. And any respiratory ailments that may exist can become aggravated by these pathogens. Asthma is one in particular. If there's a bat infestation in the attic, their droppings are known as guano. That can produce what's known as cave disease or histoplasmosis. That's also a respiratory ailment. So there are a number of health concerns. We all know what the fleas did on the rats, causing the bubonic plague to spread. And so, throughout history, we've become more aware of these health concerns. And so a greater need for the control of these pests has arisen.
So let's also talk about stinging insects such as carpenter bees and wasps. What can you tell us about these, and what solutions do you offer?
Well, I'm not a fan of stinging insects. I've been out in the yard too many times doing yard work and get hit by yellow jackets, and that's no fun. Interestingly, with carpenter bees, the male carpenter bee is the one that's buzzing around us so much. They don't even have a stinger. Okay, so you can grab them if you want. A lot of people enjoy swatting them with tennis rackets, that sort of thing. But the female is the one that is laying eggs in the components of our home, the wooden components of our home. And the hatchlings from those eggs are going to return to that same area of the house next year. So when you might only have 1 or 2 flying around this year, if they all hatch and come back next year, you may have a dozen all of a sudden. And so it grows exponentially, and they can cause a lot of damage. Consequently, woodpeckers love to get at the larva before that egg, as that egg hatches into a larva and then becomes an adult. Woodpeckers love to come in and eat that larva. So they actually do a lot more damage to the home than the bee itself. Unfortunately, woodpeckers are protected, and professionals in my industry cannot do anything about the woodpecker. So let's do something about the carpenter bees before it turns into a bigger problem.
Now, you guys do offer more than just exterminating services, I recently discovered. Can you tell us a little bit about your additional services?
Yeah, we have a home service center division, separate standalone structures that house our carpenters and our handyman division and the folks that do our wildlife work. Those folks deal with the structural issues that are caused by wildlife pests, whether it be rats, raccoons, snakes. The list goes on and on. Everything besides crawling insects that sometimes enter our home. They have to enter our home somehow, okay? So there's typically a structural issue that needs to be corrected. And so we have full-time handyman on staff, part of the Great Arrow team, and all of the work is warranted and can be renewed on an annual basis if you'd like to protect the work that was done. And so we have a lot of different things we offer: gutter services, insulation services, of course, as I mentioned, the handyman services. If you want to replace the doors and windows around your home, if you want to do something different in, to the siding or a variety of different scenarios out there. A lot of folks moving in have all kinds of ideas they want to do to a home they just moved into. So we can be a part of that for you, not just the correction process, but maybe even a renovation of sorts. And like I said, all the work is warranted, so just give us a call. We'll come give you a free estimate.
That is awesome to know. And if a buyer or a seller is looking to hire Arrow Exterminators, what should be their next step?
Well, it's really easy. You can dial 888-GO-ARROW, and wherever the property is, you just put in the zip code, and it'll ring the correct service center for that area. Or you can go online, arrowexterminators.com, and follow any of the easy-to-follow menus there, and put in a request for service and estimate. You can always call me. My name's Jason. I'm in your directory, and I do answer my phone all the time. I'm an agent as well, so I know it's always, it's not a 9-to-5 deal. It's usually 5 to 9, right? And so, just give us a call, reach us somehow, and we'll make sure we get you taken care of.
Well, thank you again, Jason, for being here with us. Thank you for all the awesome information, and thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you.